I was working for Prison Fellowship and with the Operation Starting Line Project, which is what Aaron had started in North Carolina, had gone to Prison Fellowship and asked them to come to North Carolina and do evangelistic programs in all of the prisons. And so that project had continued into 2000 with those kinds of programs in states all over the country. And so I went on staff with that program, and that's how I got to know him. And as I got to know him, I'd go home and tell Dennis stories that he had told when he was invited to our office to do devotions and that kind of thing. And we became convinced that, first of all, he was an unsung hero, and that he was getting older and his stories needed to be told and recorded while he was still able to tell them in his own voice.
Aaron is a very experienced and wise gentleman, and I think he maybe had a little bit of reservation at first. First of all, he didn't really know me. He knew Debbie pretty well, I think, but me coming as a new person on the scene, he may not have been totally certain of my motives or what this was all about. There was, I feel, an extraordinary amount of trust in this relationship that you wouldn't find in most commercial book deals. It all started with Debbie's relationship, and as Christian believers, I think he was willing to trust us to an extent that he might not for others. I think he knew that we had a heart for his story, and that that it really wasn't about money. It was about getting his story told, and we made that clear from the outset. And this was a deal done more or less on a handshake, which is, again, not very common nowadays. And so he got increasingly warmer, and then with Aaron, eating together is a big deal. I think if you really want to get to know Aaron, you've got to sit down and eat with him, and it's kind of like where you bless each other, and it's as good as a handshake from that point forward.